Hello! Last week we started working on renovating our shed. This is a shed that we've had at the house in the backyard since we moved in. There certainly wasn't anything wrong with it, it was totally fine, but I was just thinking maybe it would be a good place to have a little greenhouse, someplace to start my seeds, more space to like pot them up, because a big problem I had this year was I just didn't have enough space. I left things in smaller containers or cells than they should have been. They got pretty root bound. A lot of my flowers got stunted. A lot of my plants got stunted. And we had a bunch of scrap windows that Brendan had gotten like throughout a couple of years, I think, from job sites, places that no longer needed them, you know, just trash to people. And we've been keeping them in certain places behind like our sauna. And it was always so that we could use to build a greenhouse cheaply. So the first thing we had to do was reorganize everything that was in there. Basically take everything out and then sort of see where they're gonna go. When it's all done, I don't want that greenhouse to be crowded with a lot of the junk that was in there. So just organize that, move them into some different places. Thankfully, we still have a bunch of storage space. And hopefully I'll get to put up some shelves in the new greenhouse too, so I can store things under those shelves. And then after we cleared everything out, Brendan started demoing. We took down like 2 walls, the front wall and one of the side walls, and those are the walls that get the most sun. The other 2 walls are pretty much in the shade, and we're gonna keep it maybe the way it is. Maybe I'll do some more like shingles on it to make it just look prettier, or paint it or something. But we didn't need to fully remove everything, and we wanna try and do this as like cheaply as possible, as inexpensively as possible, both in terms of getting new material and also in terms of like the work that we put into it. Trying to do the least to get to the same like end result. So we took away those 2 walls and we're keeping the other 2, especially like it also provides privacy from my neighbors and from guests that we have, that like they have a window directly facing that greenhouse. Which is also why I do want to kind of make it prettier. After we're done all this, I'll choose some paint colors. We have a big, like 8 feet long window that's gonna go like fully on one of the sides. Not the side with the door on it, but it is the west facing side. It's not gonna fully cover that whole wall. It's 8 feet long, so the width of it like covers that whole side, but there's gonna be like space on the bottom, so we're just gonna cover that up with something opaque. And then on the south wall where the door was, Brendan was thinking we could just use the existing door, but I kind of want to make a door out of a smaller window that we have. So that's gonna be my project that hopefully I can work on. Hopefully I can figure it out. So after the demo, after we got rid of that roof, Brendan wanted to reinforce the rafters up there because that roof that we took off was basically a big sheet holding everything together, holding those rafters together. So he just cut up some 2x4, put it in between the rafters, like spacing it evenly.
Just tore that roof off with my hand.
And then also, for the wall, for that side that's gonna have the big window on it, he wanted to take out the stud that was there, put in some 2 other reinforcement beams, like behind where the window is gonna be. I don't know how it's gonna look, because it's gonna look like a window and then 2 like 2x4s behind it. Okay, so what are you doing now? This is the side that we're gonna put the big window on.
Yeah, that window is 2 inches thick, so put it 2 inches back, this 2 inches back, so the window can be right here. And I'm putting on another one of these right here so I can take this out, and the window isn't just going to be holding all the snow.
Yeah, we need a lot of support because we can get like feet of snow.
So that's what these are for.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So it's not gonna be perfect, but Brendan wanted to do it to be like the cheapest, easiest way to like have support on that side of the wall, because that window, we have a lot of snowfall. We don't want the roof to cave in. We don't want that window to kind of like shatter under pressure. So I think he's just being extra careful with it without actually doing the work of like reframing that whole window, because then he'd have to redo do the roof, those rafters. It's maybe not the best way. Maybe if I had known all of this information before we started this project, I would have asked to do it a little bit differently, maybe take more time, maybe not even do it this summer, but Brendan had like the motivation to start a project like this, so I figured why not? He's the one doing all the work. I am paying for it, so hopefully it's still good, and it's good that he is trying to do this as cheaply as possible, but anyway, hopefully it's good. I'm gonna go ahead and trust Brendan that he knows what he's doing on this. What I did get to help with was cutting up that metal flashing that he bought. Pretty good, right? Pretty straight.
Ready to go.
Now, that's also something maybe I'm a little unsure of. This is actually something that maybe we might change or somehow make a little bit different. Like right now it's like a week and a half later than when we did all this, and now the flashing is actually up. He's putting it on the side of the roofs and up in the middle, like as a ridge cap for that roof. And seeing it now on there, it's just like shiny metal. So I looked it up because I'm wondering, is it dangerous? Is the reflection gonna like hurt birds, make them fly into things? Is it gonna be like distracting and annoying for neighbors? I just like don't feel good about having that material used, having it be so shiny as well. And looking it up, metal is not good for keeping heat. It's not good for a roof of a greenhouse. It actually reflects heat away. Something we might do if we don't fully change the material that we're using is cover it up. Brendan has like this roofing tar like paper, like sticky paper. It's kind of like a sticker and it's black just to stick onto that, the shiny metal part. So having it be black, hopefully it's not reflecting the sunlight and that heat away. It's not gonna be the kind of material that will like absorb heat and slowly release it, like what is good to have. Maybe not necessarily on the roof, but in a greenhouse. But at least it's gonna be a little bit better than just having that like thin metal. And then the last thing we did was cut the roof panels. So the roof panels were a whole thing. Originally, I thought we might use corrugated polycarbonate panels. That's kind of the wavy stuff that you'll see in a lot of greenhouses. The twin wall polycarbonate, which we ended up getting, is more expensive. Not by that much more, which is why we decided to go with it. Also because it looks kind of nicer. I like the look of something flat, but it absorbs more heat. It has like two walls with some air gaps, like tubes of air in between them. And that's great for trapping heat. It's great roofing material for a greenhouse, great wall material too if you have that money. We have extra windows, so we're just gonna use that. But we got them in, I think, 8 by 4 feet. Big panels. We just cut them up in half. We cut 2 of them up in half. We did like this. We did some like speculation beforehand, some rough calculations, basically just us drawing and kind of seeing how we should cut it to fit. One of those slants of the roof is like 8 feet long and then a little bit more than 4 feet wide. So we're just thinking, how do we cut these like big panels, 8 by 4 foot panels, to allow them to sit with the lines going down. So those like tubes of air in between the polycarbonate sheets sloping down. That way if any moisture gets in, it can run off, or any condensation happens, that can drip off. And we wanted to use as little sheets as possible. So to only use 2, we decided to cut them in half and sort of we'll do 1 half of the panel there, 1 half there, but just like we're facing them the other way instead of doing one long thing. I don't know, I'm sure I'm not explaining it well. Anyway, we just had a bit of a time coming up with this. It was pretty late at night when Brendan got those panels cut, so he didn't want to use any loud machinery in the garage because we're pretty close to our neighbors. They could definitely hear it if we did. So he had a little bit of trouble just finding out like the best way to get it cut.
Give me a saw. I need a saw. What is this? Can I score and snap it? This would at least give me a groove for my saw. Oh, I think I can.
You gotta score both sides.
Because it's going down.
Whoa, be careful. No, I don't think you should be. I don't think you should.
This is the way.
Good work. And yeah, that's pretty much it for our first week renovating the shed into a greenhouse. We've worked on it a little bit more since, and I'll have that in another video coming up. But it's been a little bit slower because we have like guests coming in and out. We don't want to bother them with some loud work on the greenhouse right in the backyard. And also it's been super rainy. Oh, and Brendan just is working a lot. So it's just something that we're gonna, you know, keep up with and finish as we have the time. Hopefully I can do like my own projects to help it move forward a little bit, or to prepare them for later, like getting that door done. Yeah, this isn't something I'm experienced in at all. I am a little uncomfortable still using tools, but I don't know, I just thought it would be a really fun project to do. And then lastly, I had some zucchinis harvested from the garden. I thought it would be nice of me I thought I could do something nice for Brendan because he put so much work into like these projects around the house. I just wanted to bake him a little treat. Anyway, that's all for this video. I'll make another video once we get more progress done on the shed, on that shed renovation. If you guys have any ideas about how we might go about things a little differently, if it's not too late, I'd love to hear it. We're just kind of doing what we think is best with the information we have. Brendan doesn't know much about greenhouses. I don't know anything about construction. And hopefully it turns out good. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.